project is to get rid of this crackage and try to stop it from cracking further. As I said in a previous shop tour, that thing takes the brunt of the tree, and it just keeps slapping and slapping and flexing right here. So we're going to try to get rid of this. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to grind it all the way down. But get inside and put a multiple pass in here, or plate it or something in there, because there's nothing that's in the way actually behind there, and try to give that some rigidity and keep that from cracking out. So that, coupled with the hammering on the knives, it's just, so that's what I'm going to do here this morning. Okay, what we got here is proper shop etiquette. Well, see, you know, gotta have these on, gotta have that on. I'm not about to start grinding, but I went and grabbed my blue screen so I don't get, it's not so much the welding, it's the grinding. Don't grind near glass. And don't grind into your buddy's work area. It's just proper shop etiquette. So I put the screens up, keep the debris from hitting that, keeping the debris from hitting that, so on to grinding. There, hours worth of grinding, and look what I get. There's no place to put extra plating in here. Either behind, there's a plate that goes in with threaded holes to hold that mechanism on, the slider mechanism. So what I'm going to do here is I ground all the way through. I got a 1/4 inch gap. I chamfered it back. Here I chamfered it back. Here I chamfered it back. I got to do a little more, I think. Give me a little wider face. But what I'm going to do basically is I'm going to vertical up that with hardwire to get me a full pen. I got rid of every piece of crack, every piece of junk. There's hardly any room back here. The knife is very close. You can see it in there where it swivels, so I can't weld too much. These are kind of my only options at the moment. So I'm going to stitch this all up diligently, and then I'm going to reach in from the back side down through here and lay some multiple pass in the back. There is some room for that. So I'm running the vertical up, and I explain why. With the hardwire, I decided to switch over to hardwire. Okay, because it's a real bugger to get in from behind, and with the hardwire, with this 035, I can really, it's like when I welded pipe years ago, and I didn't weld a lot of pipe, but when I went into certain jobs I had to test on pipe, and we had a 6G position, they called it, which is all the way around the pipe without moving it, and you had to put in root passes. So that's where I learned this technique. So you can vertical up, and you can, what do we call it, keyhole, basically, with the wire, and this double thickness right here is on the other side, and I can get all the way in there, if your gap is prepped right, and fill that in, so you're actually doing a complete identical thing to this on this from this side, and it's really works good in this instance. So I don't have to go up and try to, there's about this much room back there, and you can see I got a root pass in here, and I'm going to do the same thing here. Well, it's a little bit different because it's horizontal, but I'm going to put my beads back in that gap further back, as if it was the leg of this other weld, because I have the room. And I'm going to build that out, and then I'll do a multiple pass out here, and that's when I'm going to reach in and do another couple of multiple passes on the inside, and that should give me twice the cross section in there, and hopefully that'll help. If this metal isn't too fatigued, it'll probably just crack right above it, but I got to do what I can to keep it going. So maybe I'll set you up here and let you wash a little bit, because I got the root pass established already. And you guys got to make sure you're comfortable, not lazy, comfortable. So that's what I'm about to do, and if you see flames, don't worry about it, it's my problem. It's going to have to be done in 2 passes. On this one I had it pretty wide, so. Most of that's going to get ground off anyways, but I had it pretty wide. That plate has to fit on here and slide, so I have to grind here and probably out here. So, but that works out pretty well. And if you're wondering what I got my Miller 251 set at, show you. I'm running a 035 hardwire, Lincoln hardwire, in a Miller machine, and 16.6, 250, 262, and that's generally works on a lot of things. And like I said, it's different in the woods. I use the flux core, but here, because I got the time and I can do this, you know, they volunteered to bring the machine in because it's going to another job rather than go out in the woods. It's just always better in the shop. You take a little more time and do, you know, I shouldn't say that, but it's true. You get to do a little bit more cleaning. You're not rushed by the customer. Let's just say he's not standing over you watching you. So I'm going to proceed to do these two now, going across, and then we'll go from there. Okay? I'll bring you back. So this is probably worthy of showing you guys because of what I'm talking about. Now I gotta prove it. You see with the hardwire, I can get in there, and right here's the original pass from the original weld from the factory. And I just laid a bead back there, so it's protruding. That bead is, I'm basically welding onto this plate, and the bead is back onto this structure. Okay, and it's well beyond that, as if it was the toe of this weld here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build that up and close this gap. And I continue to work myself out, because like I said, we have to grind this off. So then I will reach in the back, because like I said, there is nothing back there to interfere. And I'll probably use the flux core then and give us maybe 1 or 2 passes on the inside, which is more of a bugger, but I want to fill this in and get that nice and established. And another thing it helps do is it burns off any paint and stuff you can't grind. It gets it super hot, super heated back there, so you can then utilize that fire, that flame, that heat to melt away any crud and grease that's back there. So if you think about it, it should work out really well. And then, like I said, I'm going to do this the same way, build it out, and then just multiple pass it with this crap, because I don't really like it, but in this particular instance, it works very, very well. It's so much nicer and finer. You can just see every little thing you're doing. You can see the porosity, you can see everything that's going on right now, and stop if you have to. So I filled that one up, actually was able to bridge it on that pass and get a good root. In this one I just ran my first pass in there, and I should be able to attach the top to the bottom and weave my way out just like I did on the vertical, but do it in a horizontal fashion. I just got to show off because I like that. Back in a minute. You guys got to remember too that bead placement is critical. Where you put your bead on the plate. So I put it below this one, I'm going to put another one, and I'm going to come up with 3. It is small wire, and that's what you got to do. So. And there we have it. Why is this thing like that? Oh, somebody did that on me again. So, you see the bead placement, why it matters? 1, 2, 3, that's my cover passes. Yes, it's going to all get ground off, but each bead, it makes a difference. So I had probably a 1/2 inch gap at the face, and at the root I did a 1/4 inch. Same here. Well, I had probably 3/8 on these. And this one I could do in one nice pass, and you see my weave, it's just like stick welding. You make crescents, Christmas trees. This one I use a slight cursive E, if anybody knows what that is anymore. So now what I'm going to do, I'm trying to teach you guys as I go here on this stuff. So now, like I said, I'm going to reach in the top. I'm going to switch over to my big rod, if you will, the flux cord, because it's got a 6-inch longer gun to a neck I can get down into. And I'm going to lay a couple of beads across there. And there's one spot I gotta lay on the floor that I can get at from underneath. So I ain't gonna bring you back after this, because I needed to teach you a little bit about that, the hardwire trick that I use. And so anybody in any shop can technically use the hardwire and work on bigger iron. This ain't big iron on it by any means, but you know, I use the flux core a lot, but you don't have to. You can use a 035, hell, you could use a 023 and get the job done. I just like it in certain instances. I can finesse what I'm doing and get further in and not worry about gobs of shit rolling down into the back end and starting fires. And it's just, I have more control, and that's what I like. Does that mean I'm a control freak? Probably, but not really. I like to do a good job, and you all know that. You've been watching me long enough. So, take it for what it is. All right, we will see you on the next one. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps somebody.